What is going on, everyone? This is NinjaGeek here. Welcome back. We have some Black Ops 4 trailers here. All these trailers will be in links in the description below so you can check them out. But we wanted some Black Ops 4 gameplay, and we got some Black Ops 4 gameplay. We're going to be talking about my thoughts as everyone else is already doing. What do I think of Black Ops 4? Well, there's just so much to talk about, and a lot of mixed opinions on this so far from what I've seen online. A lot of people don't really like the futuristic stuff that Treyarch brought to the table here with Black Ops 4. But anyways, I want to talk about the game first, and then I'm going to offer my opinions after each section of the game. So there are 3 modes in this game. Actually, I think there's more than that, but we'll get into that as we go. So obviously there's just the standard multiplayer, which they ended up showing first, and one of the first things that we got about it was that it has no advanced movement. There's no boosting, there's no thrusting or jumping, double jumping into the air and boosting all around with the chaotic movement. That is gone. Obviously, it wasn't really like that in Black Ops 3, like with double jumping and thrusting everywhere. But it still was a key component of the maps and the play style that Black Ops 3 offered, but that is not here in Black Ops 4, and I enjoy that because I don't really like any of the boost jumping mechanics in Call of Duty. I didn't really feel like they had a place in the game, so I'm glad that is gone. The only advanced movement forms that we have are sliding, which replaces the dolphin dive. Obviously, in Black Ops 3, we had the slide as well, and obviously, you know, with dolphin diving, you can get on objectives fast, but with sliding you can as well, and sliding is a great mechanic that I feel should have came back, which it did. And the only other form is the grappling hook, but we're going to get into all of that in a second. So the multiplayer, very futuristic, and a lot of people didn't really come to the changes that a lot of it was made. But besides the advanced movement, I want to talk about the HUD really quick, because the HUD, the HUD on screen when you're playing, it seemed really clustered and cluttered at first, but now that you look at it, it's kind of okay. I think we're going to get used to it. The one thing that I want to go over each part of the HUD, basically. The minimap is round, like World War II, and I feel that that's a change that needs to revert back to the way it was in Black Ops 3. We definitely don't want to have a square HUD, because square was how it used to be like a long time ago, and it doesn't really show a lot. But the round HUD I don't really feel fits. It doesn't really fit a lot of first-person shooters, and with this game I can't really see it fitting, because in World War II the HUD is round, but the TV and the screens we're playing on are rectangle, so I just think it's disorienting in my opinion. I don't really like the round HUD. I wish they would revert that back to how it was in Black Ops 3. But the way the map works the mini-map works is very different from older Call of Duty games. Now you can't see anybody like you used to. Now there's like a fog of war, so that is what they called it, and it basically lets you see a certain area around you, like in front of you and stuff. And I guess that normal UAVs and stuff work the same way, but I'm not really sure how that's going to play in. Obviously, I don't know if there's any kind of Blackbird yet. I'll get to that in a second when we get to the other side of the HUD. But yeah, the mini-map has definitely been reworked. I wish it would be reverted back to a rectangle. And the Fog of War, we're just going to have to see how it plays out. I mean, it looks like it could be a good change, because now you're not always focused on the mini-map as much. So I think that might have been a good change, but definitely I think it should go back to being a rectangle. The scorecard is below the mini-map in this game. It's no longer at the bottom. That's where your health bar is, which we're going to get to in a second. But the scorecard used to be down there in the bottom left, and now it's under the mini-map. I guess that's the best spot for it now, since the health is in a good spot, but it's definitely different. And then the health in this game is 150, as you've been seeing throughout the trailers. 150 health means that the weapons are going to have a higher damage. It's not going to just be 150 and that's it, and they're going to take longer to kill. Obviously, The time to kill feels a little bit longer, as people are saying. You could obviously tell by the 150 health, which I think overall is a good thing. Now, I know in World War II I have complained about the time to kill, but I generally think that just World War II has a problem with that. I like the longer time to kill. It's just so there's something with World War II that I just don't like the way the game feels, and that's just a personal preference. But moving on, there is no more health regen. That's probably one of the biggest changes they've made. No more health regen. You have to regen your health through the little syringe that you just put into yourself, and I think it regens fast, and there's even some kind of perk or something that allows it to regen instantly. The stimulant, the syringe instantly, not the health. So there's no health regen in Black Ops 4, very different from the way that Call of Duty used to be. And I think that this, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of that's a weird change, but I think it could be a good change, because most of the times when you're trying to regen your health, you just kind of have to wait, and it just slows down the gameplay. But when you get to have control over that, it could change it. But on the other side, you have to manually do it yourself, so it's just another thing to think about. But we're going to see how that all plays out. Specialists return in Black Ops 4. That's a big thing. I've heard from Drifter and a lot of other people that specialists in this game play a huge role versus the ones that they did in Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 3, the specialists were more powerful. In this game, they're a lot more toned back, but the specialists matter more because of their abilities and what they do and how you can use them to win the game. But pretty much Black Ops 4 is all about these specialists, so that's, we're going to have to get used to that. Specialists, a lot of people didn't want to see it return, myself included. I really thought that specialists were just a hero-based thing, like how it was in Overwatch or even with Destiny, with the classes that Destiny has. But now that I'm looking at it, Destiny has kind of, well, I'm not going to talk about other games here, but Destiny has kind of fell off the back end with Destiny 2. And Overwatch is just kind of getting stale, so I'm glad that they're kind of implementing this into Black Ops 4. Specialists in Black Ops 3 weren't my favorite thing, but I can definitely appreciate them, and if they're balanced, I think that they'd be really, really fun. And in Black Ops 4, people are saying that they're way toned back from Black Ops 3. Well, not way, but a bit toned back, so that's a good thing. And overall, I think that it's not something that's bad. I think it's something that is good. The weapons in, I was almost going to say World War II, the weapons in Black Ops 4 have a specific recoil pattern. This is something new that they've been implementing. So weapons, there's a lot of weapon changes. They have specific weapon attachments, so not all weapons will have the same exact attachment. But with the recoil pattern, you can be able to judge the recoil a bit more. You can predict where it's going to go because it's going to be set. It's no longer going to be random, which is something that they've been working on, and I think that that's a good thing. It's not anything bad. It's not anything that I think we were expecting, but it's something that's a decent, good change. The multiplayer is no longer going to be 6v6. It's going to be 5v5. So, people are complaining about that as well. And to that I say, well, if it's going to be 5v5, the maps are probably going to be smaller, and I think that that's a better thing in general. What's the point of having big maps with 12 people on it where you can have smaller maps with 10 people on it? I think that's a better change overall, and from the gameplay of what I've seen, it just looks better. Okay? We're getting almost to the end of the multiplayer. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. One of the last things is that assists count as full kills, and you do get objective points for being on the objective for a certain amount of time. So think like Overwatch, where if you tag somebody, you get the elimination no matter what. That's pretty much like Black Ops 4, and I think that that's really good, because sometimes you'll hit somebody so many times, and then somebody else will steal your kill, and you'll get an assist point for it, and you're like, what? And you did most of the work. And I think that in Black Ops 4, obviously, they're really trying to push team play and teamwork, and I think that that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because Call of Duty was built on the solo play that it usually has, so hopefully it's not too much teamwork, but at the same time, I really do like this change. I like how they took that, I guess, from Overwatch, and this game kind of has like a Destiny Overwatch feel to it. Obviously, I don't know because I didn't play it, but I mean, just from the way that it looks and the way that it's going to be, it has these specialists, which are usually like from heroes and and classes from Destiny, so it's got a lot of things from other games, and I think that that's okay, because I think that they're doing something different that's obviously, specialists were on Black Ops 3, but they're just doing something that, when put together, makes sense. So, I'm not trying to sit here and say, like, oh my god, Treyarch, and I love this, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna try and sit here and say that, oh my god, it's like the best thing ever, like everyone's gonna, think that all the YouTubers are gonna do with the gameplay and say how it's good, even though it might not be. But I genuinely think that it's okay. The multiplayer, when I first saw the trailer, I was really skeptical about it. I didn't really like it, to be honest, but now that I've seen gameplay, it looks better, but we're gonna have to wait until we get the beta until we can judge more. So that's it on my thoughts on multiplayer. It's okay. Didn't really like it at first, but now it's okay. Zombies. Let's talk about zombies, because this game, it changed my view. It changed my view on zombies for sure. The way that they did it is they didn't really include anything. It's a different story from Black Ops 3 and obviously from previous games. Completely different story. New characters that we don't really know a whole much about, except for what they look like and who they are, obviously. And just the way that they're doing it this year is just different, that I want to get more into zombies than I have in the previous years. Like, even like I said and I mentioned in previous videos, Black Ops 2 is the first zombies experience that I really dove into a lot. And that's just because the maps were really good in Black Ops 2. And I love zombies, but it's not really like my main game mode. I usually just tend to stick to the multiplayer. But this year with Black Ops 4, we're getting a lot of zombie stuff. So the first map is set in like an ancient arena type of map. And honestly, it just looks okay to me. There's nothing really special going on there. It's just a new beginning of a new story. But the next two maps are absolutely fantastic. So this Voyage of Despair map, which is set on the RMS Titanic, as you can see obviously by all these trailers, is literally my dream. So, not going to get too much into it, but when I used to play Left 4 Dead 2 with my friends, and not used to, because sometimes, we still hop on and play that game occasionally, but when I used to play that game, I was like, how awesome would it be if we could just, like, get on the Titanic and just have fun, like, surviving with with zombies going around, and if the Titanic were to, like, sink, and you gotta, like, get on a lifeboat or something somewhere, like, that would be absolutely incredible. And I even downloaded Left 4 Dead 2 on the PC just so I can actually play the custom map of the Titanic that they have for Left 4 Dead 2. Come to find out, look at this. Voyage of Despair set on the RMS Titanic, and we have the it's pretty much my dreams. I mean, it's zombies on the Titanic, and we get the over-glimpsing look at the iceberg at the end. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to get my hands on that map. That's probably my favorite map. The next map, we have Mob of the Dead Remastered. It's going to be called Blood of the Dead. Very obviously, Mob of the Dead is one of the best zombies maps ever, and also by the community as well. It's one of the best zombies maps ever. And it's coming back, going to be called Blood of the Dead here in Black Ops 4. So we don't really have too much more zombies information on that. Well, actually, they did mention a couple things about how challenges are going to work and that you can play solo with bots and stuff like that. But it's not really anything, we don't really know much more than that. We haven't really seen a lot of gameplay. Obviously, this is just trailers. Moving on is one of the best modes. Obviously, we have Blackout. That's what it's going to be called. It's basically going to be a hybrid between Battlefield, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. It's like Battlefield meets Fortnite meets Call of Duty, set from World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and Black Ops 4. Characters, weapons, maps, streaks, zombies, missions, and everything from that game is going to be included. Or, well, I don't know about everything, like if they're going to take every asset from those games, but they're going to take a monstrosity amount of things from all of those games and combine it into one battle royale map. It's going to be survival. Now, obviously, I know that many people know my thoughts on Fortnite and how I don't play it. I don't really like the battle royale style genre of game, but I do think that this is going to be great. You know, we're going to see how there's so many questions that are unanswered. Like, what are we going to spawn in? Is it going to be random, or can we what's going to be this mode? We know we only got a trailer, and it wasn't even a cinematic trailer. It was really only explaining the mode, so we don't know. The only thing we really know is that it's going to be 1,500 times the size of Nuketown, as said by Lord Vonderhaar. So we don't really know anything else besides that. However, it's going to include lots of things from the Black Ops games, which is very, it's going to be nostalgic. And unfortunately, aside from this, there is no campaign in Black Ops 4. However, Blackout, I think, is going to be a good replacer. Number one, the Black Ops 3 campaign wasn't that good, so I wouldn't really want them to kind of sit there and make a futuristic game that somebody's going to play for 5 hours and then that's it, and not really a lot of people are going to play it or enjoy it for that matter. I would rather see them do this, which is what they're doing, and also it kind of acts like a campaign in a way, because we're seeing elements from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 and all of the other Treyarch games from World at War even going on forward, and even into Zombies as well. So it's all going to be a clash up of the best of Black Ops, and I think that that's really one of the best ideas. I wasn't really a fan of Battle Royale in Call of Duty supporting it, because I felt like Treyarch should focus on what Call of Duty represents. But now, after seeing this, I'm kind of excited to see what we have in store for us. So, overall, at the end of this video, if I could just summarize, multiplayer didn't really look too good at first, I'm going to be honest, but after seeing the gameplay and watching different weapons and different streaks, and that's another thing too, I want to see the streak list for the multiplayer, because we got the AC-130 back, we got the attack chopper, so it looks like a lot of streaks are returning from previous Call of Duty games, not just from Black Ops. I mean, we got the attack chopper, which was in Black Ops, but we have the AC-130, which is in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 as well. Very popular kill streaks, and I want to see what other streaks we have back. Hopefully we have the VSAT. Hopefully, can we pray for Vonderhaar to see if we have a VSAT? If this game has a VSAT, it's going to be a good multiplayer. But yeah, after seeing the multiplayer gameplay, I felt better about it. It's definitely going to take the changes are definitely going to take some time to get used to, and I think that that's really the biggest problem, is the changes to the minimap and the health regeneration and the health itself, I should say. That is really going to expand upon what we know about Call of Duty, and I think that that's what a lot of people don't really like about it. But other than that, I think that once we find that out and figure out how to do all that, the multiplayer is going to feel really great, since it is boots on the ground. I don't care if it's past or futuristic, I think it's going to be fun. And obviously Zombies, excited for that Voyage of Despair map, and of course Mob of the Dead Remastered coming back as Blood of the Dead. And then we have Blackout, which is probably one of the best things to ever happen to Call of Duty in a very, very long time. We have to wait to get more information on all this, so hope you did enjoy this video. I want to know your thoughts down below on what you think about Black Ops 4. I know lots of people probably are not going to like it, but what are you going to do about it? Treyarch came out and blatantly wants to share their game and share their experiences, and honestly, if they did the same thing that they have done for the past 10 years, if they just came out with a regular campaign that was okay, leading on from what Black Ops 3 had, they came out with a Zombies that continued on the story and tried to spiral it out of control even more, or if they had released a multiplayer that's the same thing over and over again, people will complain about it being stale. So I think that this is a move in the right direction, and but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, I want to play the beta. I don't even know when the beta is, though. Does anyone know when the beta is? Because I'm looking to get my hands on that, as many of us all are. But anyways, this is a long video. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for more. This is NinjaGeek. I'm out, and peace.